Samantha, Bloomline. I have 4 kids. I have Faith, who's 2, and Brandon, who's 7, and Jeremy and Josh, who just turned 16. And I was born here. I lived in Paradise my whole life, 34. And we lived here. This is where we lived, me and all my kids. Time of the fire, we had me, Jeremy, Josh, and Faith, and I actually had my 2 nephews that lived with me also. I worked in Magalia. I saw the traffic coming down, you know, when I was going up to Magalia from here. I saw a bunch of traffic coming down, and I thought, that's weird. My sister's my boss, so I called her and I'm like, this doesn't look right. There's a lot of people coming down, like the whole town. Thinking maybe I shouldn't be going up for some reason. And she said, no, it's just, there's just a little fire. It's just like it always is, and everyone's just, you know, worried about it. So you're fine, just go to work. Just keep going, you're good. And I'm like, I don't think I should be going to work. It could take me a long time to get down if I have to come back down. She's like, no, you're fine. And I'm like, okay, all right. It didn't feel right. I didn't see smoke or anything. I couldn't even tell. I had no idea. No idea. I got to the donut shop, and as I pulled up to the donut shop, the lady working there was running out the door, and all the lights were off, and she didn't even turn around to lock it. She just ran straight out the door and to her car, and I'm like, I rolled down the window and I'm like, hey, are you closing? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the towns are burning down. Paradise Magalia is on fire. Get your kids and get to Chico. And I'm like, what? No, it's not burning down. Just a little fire. It's not even near here. And then that's when my mom called. And my mom said, I got all the kids and the dog taken care of. Go to Chico now. Do not stop anywhere. Go to Chico now. And I was like, well, I have to go by the house. I have to get my things. And she's like, no, no. I said go to Chico now. Do not stop anywhere. Turn around and go to Chico. And I was like, well, I can't just leave. If nothing else, I have to get Grandma and Grandpa's ashes. I'm not leaving without Grandma and Grandpa's ashes. I'll leave everything else, but I'm going to get Grandma and Grandpa's ashes. And that's her parents.
Okay.
And she said, I said, get to Chico now. And then that's when I first felt, okay, something's not right. It says something's not right. Because we were very close with my grandma and grandpa, you know. And she said, you promised me you're going to go. She knows me. She said, you promised me you're going to go straight to Chico. You get out of town. Your kids are taken care of. The dog is taken care of. Go out of town. Straight to Chico. And I was like, okay. But yeah, Yeah, so I was sitting in the line of cars coming down. I was going straight to Chico. Can't leave Grandma and Grandpa's ashes. Like, if this is going to be serious, pretty serious, I can't leave Grandma and Grandpa's ashes. I have to go get them. And so I turned, and there was traffic, and I thought, great. It just ends up being one big circle anyway, so I thought, I'm just taking a different route. It ain't going to matter, you know. Same thing, I'm just going a different way. And I got just down Pence Road to my kids' school, and I was sitting there at the kids' school, and I was just kind of, and by that time I could kind of see that the sky had gotten a little bit darker, you know. You could see smoke and stuff in the air, but, you know, not close, really, it didn't look like. And, like, my peripheral, I see, like, this something, and I look over, and their school's on fire. And there's no fire trucks anywhere. It's, like, completely silent. No fire trucks anywhere. And I thought, that's not right. That's not right. And so I took I took a picture of it, and I thought, okay. Well, this is going to be cool to show everyone later, you know. And then I hear ding, 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 ding. It was my gas light. It was on empty. And so
Yes, they are.
I was right in the middle of the road. If I had run out of gas, I would have blocked all the people behind me. And there was like bumper to bumper as far as we could see. Yeah, so I thought I gotta get off the road. So I pulled into my kids' school, and then I thought, oh, now I need to call my mom and tell her I didn't listen to her. And my car's out of gas, and I'm gonna be on foot now. So I called my mom and told her I didn't listen to her, and I ran out of gas, and I was on not the road that went to Chico. And my dad was freaking out. I hear my dad in the background freaking out. My baby girl, I have to get to my baby girl. And I thought, oh gosh, okay. Yeah, okay. She said, you need to get out right now. And I said, the school's on fire, Mom. I don't know. It's on fire. Like, I'm right. I was sitting with a picture I previously took as I was talking to her. And I'm like, the school is on fire, Mom. I can't just sit here. It's all on fire, you know. And she said, then just get out and go towards, you know, Wagstaff. We're on our way to get you. We'll come and get you. Okay. So I get out, and I'm thinking, okay, this is, you know, I'm still quite not full panic yet. I'm thinking, okay, well, the school's kind of on the edge of town, so, you know, all right. We're still safe, you know. And then I got to Wagstaff, which is where she was going to meet me. And I was probably 100 feet from the stop sign on Wagstaff. And I was walking, and it was on my phone. I was texting on my phone. And then I got done texting on my phone. And as I put it down to my side in my hand, I looked up. There was no fire or anything. And out of nowhere, just fire shot across the road. Completely across the road. To the other side. And lit everything on fire. Foothill Mill and Lumber Company, the lumber place, of course, was right there. Probably was not the best place to go to, Wards. But it was like out of nowhere. It was like a flamethrower. I mean, it wasn't like a fire that, you know, I mean, there was nothing, and then just, I mean, it was everywhere. And there was cars up at the stop sign. Everyone got out and started panicking and running back, and that's like my first seconds, and it was really like real. And I mean, I kind of just stood there for a minute, and I couldn't really comprehend like what was going on. I was like just trying to figure out if it was like real, even, you know. And I was just kind of like staring as all these people are running by me. And I'm just standing there and I'm just like looking. Like, all right. So I call my mom and I'm like, don't go that way. She's like, you're a dad. She's like, he is driving on sidewalks. He's driving around roadblocks. Michael, you need to slow down. You need to slow down, Michael. You need to slow down. He's like, I gotta get to my baby girl. I have to get to my baby girl. I can't believe she's out on this. She's on foot, and I just can't believe this. And then that's when I got emotional, and I was like, it's okay, Dad. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna walk back up. It's fine. I'll go up towards, Gate Lane. It's the road that cuts across, probably 2 miles down the road. I said, you guys just turn around and go to Chico. I'm fine. I'm not. It's me. Nothing can take me down, I'll get out of this town. Know that. Even if it's on foot, I'll get out of this town. I will not burn in this town. And he said, nope, absolutely not. No man left behind. We will not leave anyone behind. And I was like, I'll be fine, Dad. Just go to Chico. Don't come this way. It's on fire. And I mean, now I'm walking back from the first fire that I was walking away from, running from another fire. And that fire had worked its way down. So at that point, I'm literally walking through everything on fire. And not telling him that, of course, or my mom. And the cars were bumper to bumper, and the traffic wasn't going anywhere, and no, people were not letting me in. I mean, people were not letting people in. Knocking on windows, and people they wouldn't let you in. I mean, some people didn't have room, and then some people just were not letting you in. And finally, I just hit the ground at that point. I got away from the fire a little bit, and I went to my knees, and all I could do was pray. I just prayed. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pray, and then I'm gonna just put it in God's hands and let Him take me where He wants to take me. And I hear this lady say, "Excuse me," and I look over, and a little ways up, it's a lady, and she's got her son, a bigger son in the car, older son, in the car. And she says, "Excuse me, what are you doing out there? Come get in the car. Come get in the car right now." And my phone had died too before I got in her car. My phone had died too. And so then it was like, okay, now I'm in a fire. The town is literally burning down around me. I am on foot. I have no car. And my phone just died. So by this time, I can't breathe. Like, by the time she gets to me in the car, I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm hyperventilating, and I'm not comprehending what is going on at all at that point. She was like, "It's okay, sweetie. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to get to Chico. Do you have any family? Do you need me to call your family?" And I was like, "Yeah. Yes, my mom. Can you call my mom?" And she said, yes. So she dialed the number, and she said, "Pauline," I told her name. She said, "Pauline, here, I have your daughter with me." And she handed me the phone, and I said, "I'm in a car with someone, and we're almost to the top of Pence, and I'm going to be going to Chico. So we'll be fine. You guys go to Chico, and I will meet you down there." And Rayleigh's. I said, "Let's meet at Rayleigh's. Can you meet me at Rayleigh's?" And she said, yes. And my dad said, "No, we're not leaving. We'll wait at the bottom of town." And I said, "Just go. You guys need to just go. Go. I'll be fine. I'm in a car. We're fine. We're going to be fine. We're almost to Skyway, And he was like, "I don't like it. I don't like it, Pauline." And then they argued for a minute. And I heard my dad say, okay. And he starts praying. And then he says, "We're going to go back for Paula and Randy." And I that's my mom and dad's best friends growing up.
Okay.
Were Paul and Randy, so they're like aunt and uncle to me. And so I didn't really think much of it, you know, if you're the SB having a hard time getting out or whatnot, you know. And because they're a little bit older than my mom and dad, but they've been friends since they moved here together, actually from LA 34 years ago, because it was right when my mom got pregnant with me. But they'd known each other since they were like 16, and they were both high school sweethearts together. So then I called my daughter, my ex-boyfriend, which is my daughter's adopted dad. We adopted her together. And I was like, I need you to come get me. I'm on Pince Road. And he's always that one that's driving into the fire that you see on the news, the one car that's going to the fire, and everyone else is, that's him. He's the adrenaline, loves adrenaline. I'm like, you gotta come get me. I need you to come get me right now. I don't care how you do it, but you get here and you get me. And she's like, honey, I don't think that he can make it here. And I'm like, no, he'll make it here. He'll make it here. And he's like, I'm coming right now. And he called back a little bit, I was like, I don't know, 15 minutes later, and he's like, I can't get to you. I can't get to you. I'm trying, and I can't get to you. I can't go around the roadblocks anymore. They're stopping me. I can't get to you. And I was like, he said, it's bad. Can you get out and walk towards me? You need to just get out and walk towards me. Get out and walk down towards Skyway, you know, and I'll sit here and I'll wait for you. And I said, no, you need to go out. Go to Chico, because one of us has got to make it out of here for sure, and I've got to know that for my daughter, you know, because we are all she has, you know. And he said, I really would feel better if I could just wait for you. And I said, no, you need to go. I need to know that our daughter will have one of us, and that's the only way that I'm going to be like okay with this. And he said, everything's going to be fine. It's fine. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. You're okay. I said, okay. And then we got a little bit further down. We hit Skyway. We went down. And I didn't even remember the lady's name or car or anything. I'm trying to find her, actually. And that was her teenage son. He also went to Paradise High. He had a broken leg. He was did some kind of sports. I want to say football, but I can't really remember. But just the sweetest lady. And I took a nap. I was so exhausted from it was so much on me, you know. So I just fell asleep. And I woke up, and I'm like, how long has it been? And she's like, oh, it's been about 45 minutes. We've been sitting in the same spot, you know. And she says, your mom called, and I let her know you were sleeping. And she said, just to let you sleep. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I should call her. And I'm sitting there, and I call her, I just woke up. She goes, it's bad. It's real bad. It's real bad. Like, I'm pretty sure our house is gone. And Michelle's house was on fire when she left. That's my sister. And we're pretty sure that your house is gone. And I was just like, no, there's no way. My house is gone. What do you mean my house is gone? It can't be gone, you know? What about Grandma and Grandpa's ashes? That was like all I could think about. What about Grandma and Grandpa's ashes? And she said, you need to just stay where you're at and get to Chico. And, okay. And hung up with her. And then we're sitting in a car, and it's just like silence at this point. And then like all of a sudden I hear this like crackling, and it just was little sounds, and I was like, what is that? And I kind of looked to the side, and then I hear like an explosion, and I'm like it made me jump, and I like look behind me, and it was like a wave of fire. It was not like anything you would think you would picture or you would see. It was not just like a fire burning. It was literally, it was almost like it was fueled by something, or, you know, being pushed by, you know, and it wasn't that windy at that point. It wasn't even that windy outside, you know, but it was like, it was the only way I can describe it is it was like a tsunami to me, but fire. And it just came down, and everything in its path was on fire. Everything in its path was on fire. The cars behind us, people were getting out of their cars and running, and there were people in their cars that did not make it out, couldn't get out of their cars, and it was just crazy. And it was just panic. It was panic. And the lady I was with, she says, "Oh my gosh, my kids are back there. My kids are back there." And I thought, my kids? And I was just like, looked around, and I thought, we're surrounded in fire at this point, and the only reason we didn't die at that point was because we were right next to storage sheds, so there was nothing on the left side of us for the fire to catch on too, because it's all concrete and stucco, you know. And I thought, okay, I gotta get out and I gotta get over there. And we have our big, beautiful trees in Paradise, you know, and they're on fire, and you think, oh well, it'll take forever for those to come down, you know. And it had to have been within like a few minutes of the fire going through these huge trees before they just started falling down. And it was almost, they didn't burn like up like you would think if you light a tree on fire, it would burn up, you know. It like the flame went straight through the tree, the trunk of the tree, and just the tree started falling. And then there was no way out. Then the whole tree was on fire on the ground. Everywhere around you was on fire, and it was like, okay, I'm going to die here now. That's what's going to happen. I'm not going to go home. So I have to find a way to get a message to my kids. There's got to be some way. Everything around here is going to burn, and I've got to get a message to my kids, you know. I want to leave them something. I want them to have something. I don't want to just call them, you know what I mean? And my younger ones, I couldn't say anything, you know. What do you say to them, you know? She was 1 at the time. And so the lady in the front driving, she was praying. And then I started crying. At this point, up to this point, it was like I was kind of numb to it all. It was like, is this really happening? And then once it set in, I'm not going home. I'm going to die. What's going to happen with my kids, you know? My dad can't even take care of himself. He lives off my mom and dad, you know? So they'll be all right. They're going to raise them, you know, and they'll be all right. And I said, can I text my mom? And she said, yes, sweetie, and everything's going to be okay. She reached back and she grabbed my hand. My hands were on my legs, and she started praying with me. She prayed. We said amen. And she handed me the phone. And I texted. The first text was goodbye to my kids. And kind of a little something for each one of them, you know. And then I sent it. Then started writing goodbye to my mom. And she calls. And I picked up the phone. And I said, Mom, you have to let me finish. I'm texting. I can't talk right now. And I could barely get those words out. I mean, it took everything I had just to say that. I can't talk right now, Mom. Just stop. And she was panicking. She was freaking out. What is going on? What was going on? Where are you? You know, freaking out. I'm like, you just have to let me text you. I can't right now. I can't talk right now, you know? And she goes, you call me right back when you're done texting me. And I hang up. And, you know, I tell my mom, I say goodbye to my mom. And I tell her, please, you know, keep these texts. I want you to keep these texts for the kids. And I want them to have these texts. You know, that's why I'm texting you, because I want you to keep this forever for them, you know, and make sure that my daughter goes to Jeremy, you know. Don't let anyone else take my daughter. She has to go to Jeremy. Do whatever you have to do to make sure that she goes to Jeremy. And take care of my kids. You have to take care of my kids, you know. You just make sure that they're taken care of. Make sure, you know, that they're okay. And she called me, sent that message, and she called me, and she's crying, and she's freaking out. My dad's crying, and he's freaking out. I'm just like, I'm not me. I can't. There's fire everywhere, Mom. I'm surrounded. I cannot get out. There is fire everywhere. I look. It's everywhere. And there's people on fire. And the cars around me, you know. And I'm gonna die here. I'm not making it out. And I just have to take care of my kids. I need to know that. And she said, you're not gonna die there. In that fire, you're not gonna sit there and just die. You get out of that car and you run, and I don't care if you have to run through fire. Don't. You have kids. You can't just give up. You can't just sit there and say you're gonna die. Get out and run. Run through the flames. Do whatever you have to do. You can't just sit there and die. And I was like, I can't, Mom. I can't. If I'm here and I'm in the car, hopefully the smoke will get me before the flames get me, you know? And she's like, no, God's telling me you're not going to die today. So you got to get out and you got to run for your kids. And I did. I put my hand on the door and I looked at the lady and her kid. And I thought, she can't run because her son's on crutches, you know, and he's a big boy, already in pain, you know. He had left his pain pills at home. It was like a fresh break. It was a pretty fresh break on his leg. And I was just like, I can't leave them here. How do you do that? You know, how can I, like, no one else would pick me up. And she can't run. So she's got to stay here with her son in this. And I thought, thank God I don't have my kids. Thank God I don't have my kids, because I just couldn't imagine being her at that moment. I couldn't imagine that. And I just couldn't. It was so hard for me to leave them there like that. I couldn't even say anything to them. And they had like cats in cages. And so I took my shirt off and an undershirt. I wear undershirts under my work shirts. So I took my overshirt off and I stuck it in the cage in the water, in a thing of water that the cat had in there, like these no-spill cage bowls, you know. And I didn't say a word. I just opened the door and got out and wrapped my shirt around my head. My hair's very long, so I thought my hair would catch on fire, you know. And so I wrapped my hair and wrapped my head up, and I just got out and ran away. And I could barely run. I dressed really fancy for work, you know, because I work at a pharmacy, and I could barely run in my work shoes. And so I thought, I can't run. so hard to run in my work shoes, but I can't take them off because there's fire everywhere. And I was telling them, as I was running, I was screaming, get out of your cars, get out of your cars, get out of your cars, get out of your cars. And then there was a tree that had fallen in the road, and it was all on fire. And that was going to be the easy. That was the less flames. That was the easiest route out, even though there were still flames, you know. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm going to go right there. That's my spot right there. And I just ran straight through. And it was this tiny little, between the end of the storage units and the end of this tree, you know. And I just ran. I closed my eyes and I just ran through it. And I got to the other side of the flames, and it was very, everyone was just sitting there, like I was. And I'm like, get out. You guys have to get out of your cars. Get out, get out, get out, get out. I start banging on windows, and I'm like, you gotta go as I'm running. And people are just looking at me like, is she kidding me? And I'm like, no, people didn't have their windows down. Everyone had their windows up, you know. And I'm like, you guys hey, get out. You have to get out of your cars. Like, get out of your cars. Start honking your horns. Like, I was banging on the windows, and I was like, you guys. And finally, I was just like, I can't. I gotta go, you know. And I'm running, and this guy goes, excuse me. And I look at him, and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, can you help my wife? I can't. I'm disabled, and I can't get out. And I said, you need to get out now. And he said, I can't. Can you please help my wife get out of the car? And she said, I'm not leaving. And I was, me, that was hard. That was really hard. And I was like, no, you have to get out. There's no option. I'll drag you if I have to. I'll get her out, and I'll drag you, you know. I'll put you in a trash can if I have to, you know. And I start to walk over there, and a lady comes up from behind me, and she puts her hand on my shoulder, and she says, you have to come.
You're too dirty.
You can't help them. You have to leave them. Let them try to get out themselves. You can't help them. You don't have time. And I was like, no, I can't leave them. You don't. That's not me. I don't have it in me. And she said, do you have kids? Do you have family? And I said, yeah. And she said, then you have to leave them. And she tugged on my shoulder and pulled on me. And she said, come on. And she just started praying, and I just turned around and went with her. Just like there. And at that time, everyone was started getting out of their cars and stuff, because they started seeing more people coming from, behind me. And at some point in time, after I had gotten out of the flames, I kicked off my shoes because I couldn't run. And I just went. It was like, I gotta get to my kids, And I ended up going for like 4 miles. I checked it afterwards. I walked all the way to the end of Paradise. And then there's this house. It used to be the mayor years ago. It's a really pretty white house at the end of town. And by the time I got there, I sat down and I just kind of watched as the fire worked its way down to this little gas station that was by me, and it was just like surreal, but like at that point it was like magical to like watching, it was like, it was kind of like, okay, it's all gone, everything's gone. I can now say the whole town is gone, because you could see I could see from way over there, I could see I looked to me like I could see way past my house even, you know. I just watched it all kind of close in, and then I got up and I went to, I was on Skyway, and I got in the middle of the road, and I was waving, and the cars were just, there was very, like, just, I think maybe 4 cars or 5 cars passed me, and they just drove right around me. I mean, I was like jumping in front of these cars as they were coming, and I was like, please open your doors, let me in, and they're just driving around me. And then the last car, she drove around me, and I hit my knees. I was like, I can't, I'm done, I'm not going anymore, I'm done. At that point, I think the adrenaline kind of wore off. My legs started to hurt, my feet hurt, my sinuses hurt, my nose hurt so bad, my sinuses burned, and my lips burned, and I was like, I can't go, I don't have anything else left in me, you know? And I kind of saw, like, lights, and I looked, and the lady that had passed me had stopped way down the road. And I was just sitting there, like, I didn't know if she was going to reverse or what. And she sat there. And so I got up and I started running towards her car. And I got in her car. And it was a little girl. It was a little girl in the backseat, and a dog, and the mom. She had like an accident. And she said, "You don't have any shoes on." And I said, "No, I had to leave my shoes. I couldn't run in my shoes." Okay. Put your seatbelt on, let's go. And we had to take Neal Road because Skyway was blocked off. And she runs on Neal Road. The whole road is on fire. And it's like everything I just came out of all over again. And I'm just like shaking at this point, and it was just in complete shock. It was like, at that point, there was like nothing left inside of me. It was just kind of like nothing, you know? And the little girl was crying, and the lady was like driving through flames, around trees in the road. It was like, I was like, I cannot believe this is happening. What is happening right now? Like, it's not ever gonna end, is what I felt like. This is never gonna end. Like, this is never gonna end. And then all of a sudden, like, it came out, clear blue skies, and I said, "Can I use your phone?" And so I called my daughter's father first, actually. I said, "Where are you?" And he said, "I'm in Chico, where are you?" And I said, I'm gonna be coming into Chico. Are you going to Chico? And she said, "Yes, I'm going to Chico." And I said, "I'm coming into Chico." And he said, "Well, where do I meet you?" And I said, just drive to the end of Skyway. And you'll see me. I gotta call my mom. You know, I'm just gonna have her drop me off on the side of the road. And we couldn't go to Chico. They had closed Chico. I called my mom. This is all, like, I called my mom, and I'm talking to my mom, and hadn't told her yet I'm not coming to where you're at, because she was the other way in Durham. I'm going to Chico to, you know, my daughter's dad, and he had my daughter by then, and she was just crying, and I was like, I got picked up, and I'm okay. And she said, what happened? And I was like, I can't talk right now, Mom. I'm gonna talk to you when I see you. And I can't go to Chico. That's where Jeremy has been. You should pick me up. And the lady said, well, we're gonna go to Orville then. I have a Home Depot. And I said, okay. Yeah, Home Depot. And my mom goes, okay, we'll come and get you. And I said, okay, well, my phone's dead. I'm not gonna have my phone. So I'm just gonna be sitting there waiting. So go to Home Depot right now, get in the car and go to Home Depot. And I pulled up, and the lady let me out, and I got out, and I just sat there, and just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried for it seemed like forever, until my sister pulled in with her boyfriend, and my mom was in the backseat, and they drove up and picked me up. And I got in the car, and my sister was just laughing, and she was like, yeah, they were talking about something, I don't even know what, and I'm like, wow, you know, like, do they not get what just happened? Because I'm pretty sure I'm not right after that. So, and she goes, oh my gosh, you look horrible, look at me. And I look at her, and she takes this picture, and I have the picture that she took, and it just was like, the look on my face was just like, wow. And my mom, she just couldn't even stop crying. She couldn't even speak or anything. And we got back to my one sister did not live in town, she lived in Durham. Everyone went to her house, so we went to her house, and I opened the door, and I got out, and my older boys were there, and they just like held me. It was definitely, will never forget that. And they just held me like they were adults almost. And I just cried. I have not been the same since then. And they know, they're aware of that. Definitely changed, everything. Our lives changed that day. And, it's been a big struggle since then. And everyone says, like, well, at least you made it out alive. And I always say, I didn't make it out alive. No. I died back there. And now I'm trying to, this is a whole new life. Who I was, everything I had is gone and dead. That's what it feels like. I died in that fire. And, people don't get it. A lot of people don't get it. I've talked to survivors that do, who went through a really hard evacuation, but like, people are like, well, you made it out alive, and, you look at you got this trailer, and it's like, something just go, at a certain point, the mind can only take so much trauma. And then at a certain point, you just kind of, and we just haven't been the same since. We went to Los Molinos. A lady, we were actually ended up in the Walmart parking lot, and a lady found us on Facebook, and she financed this trailer for us, and we lived in a trailer park about an hour away from Paradise, until about 2 months ago, when it got to be not a good place to live. Everyone started kind of moving away out of the trailer park. We had made like this beautiful little amazing community, we had huge fires and barbecues, and we were all really close, and we were right on the river, and we were healing, and it was just a beautiful thing. It started to be a very beautiful thing. And then everyone started to leave, and then the people that were left that had been living, in cars and tents, wherever, started to move in, and it just, I woke up one day and I said, I have to get my kids, and we have to go home. I gotta get back to Paradise. I gotta get out of here. And 2 days later, we were here. I pulled back into my driveway, and that was the first time I came back to Paradise. And I'm back to Paradise. Until then, And I came into my property and I saw my rose bush was the first thing I saw. And I was just like so happy to see my rose bush. I thought, how did that, how do I have my rose bush still? And we're here.
Okay.
Our house came 2 days ago. So we're just about, next week we should be able to move into it. And we'll all be back home. So we woke up, when was it? 2 mornings ago. I got up. My son had been asking me to pray with him. Every night we pray together at bedtime. And the last week has been super hectic. I'm trying to get ready and for the house to come and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'll be there in a minute. And before I realized it, it had been 3 nights that he had fallen asleep waiting for me to come in and pray with him. And I was like, and that I was in, it was the morning my house was coming, and it was the morning my house was coming, actually. Yeah, and I was so stressed out, and I had to move all this wood, this huge tree that had gotten dropped and was in the way, and I had to move it, and I was down there, and I was so stressed out, and it hit me. I haven't prayed with my son in 3 days. He's been asking me to pray with him, and I haven't. I've just been too busy, and that's like not okay, you know. And so I got emotional, and I got upset, and he, comes home, and he came home early that day. His stomach was hurting. I think he just wanted to be here for when the house came. But he came home, and I was down there at the road, and I said, "Come here, let's pray. We're gonna pray. We haven't prayed." He always does our prayer for us. He's super good at saying like grace and praying. Awesome at it. And we prayed. He prayed. And we both say amen, amen. And I'm crying, and he goes, "Mom, what's wrong?" And I go, "It's good tears, son. It's good tears. We're going to have our house, and just a lot to take in." And then this white truck pulls up next to me, and he goes, "Excuse me, are you rebuilding here?" And I'm thinking, I think I had my shirt on inside out and backwards, because I jumped out of bed, and I was like, I have to move that wood. I slept in. Oh my gosh, I have to move that wood. And I was thinking, oh, I look like a freak right now. We probably look like... And he says, I'm from a church, and we are helping people rebuild, and we're going out in the community, and we want to help people. And it was, I was just starting to kind of lose, not faith, because I'll always have faith, but I was just starting to get weak, and I was so tired, and I was so hot, and my body hurts, and kind of cracked that day. And that brought me back. It brought me back. I stood up, and I couldn't even tell him about it, because I was just trying to kind of like breathe through what was going on. And it wasn't until today when he knocked on my door. I've had his business card on my bed for the last 2 days, and I'm like, I've got to get this done, this and this. I got to text that guy tonight and tell him this. And he knocks on my door. And so just tonight was when I got to tell him that. He didn't know that before tonight. But he said, we're going to help. We're going to help you. He said, it's just you and your kids here? You don't have a spouse? And I said, no, it's just me and my kids. And he said, you're doing all of this on your own? And I said, all of it. Every brick, every rock, every hole, every obstacle. I'm doing it all on my own. And I've recruited my little neighbor here, because I have agoraphobia really bad now. And so I've left here in Paradise. I've left my property 3 times. And then like 9 months I was at the trailer park. I left 4 times. And it didn't click to me until after we prayed and everything. What would I do without those boys? You know? what would I would, I mean, they do all my shopping for me, you know? Like, they give me food. And then it clicked to me, like, God put them here. And they were in a tent. Living in a tent. They didn't have any blankets or anything. Just a tent on the ground. And I said, my boys aren't using this camper trailer, so why don't you take it and use it? And I went through and I got them blankets and stuff and pillows, and then they had no power, no water. And so I had 2 generators, and one is a little one, you know, and because I had power where it was, not when I came out here. And I said, you guys take this little generator, and we'll use less power, you know. And now I know, like, God sent them. God put them here.
Awesome.
And it didn't hit me until, you know, all of it, man. But I know now, like, that God put them here for me, and me here for them.